What up, folks? Happy New Year. The journey towards financial freedom, the right way. Entering these YouTube streets. I said I wasn't going to do it because I wasn't chasing clout and all that type of stuff. And I'm not. I just want to promote the truth. That's what we're supposed to do, right? We come from the truth. Our bodies, our souls yearn the truth, and the more we keep it from the truth, the closer we get to the casket. We do it to ourselves. It's self-sabotage. Like biting the apple when you know you're not supposed to bite the apple. The stories, right? Well, I got some new stories. How to get to the bag the right way, right? No clout chasing. This ain't for that. This is not that, right? This is just totally different. Like, whatever the result will be, that's what it's going to be. It's not going to be what they got over there. Nah, they're taking money from the people. I don't like that. I don't care if it's the government, church, state, county, or city. I don't condone and I don't support predators preying on other people's capital or preying on whatever it is that they're preying on. That's not this. So I decided to be the change, be the difference, right? Do it differently. I don't do anything like anybody does on YouTube. I'm just promoting the truth. It could be Fox, it could be CNBC, it could be the left, it could be the right. I go down the middle. White running back rare, like Christian McCaffrey, right? Somebody's going to pick up on it and be like, hey, check this guy out, right? Yeah, because we're telling you what you need to know for free. The only way you're going to know it works is if you apply it. That's what we say. See it, say that you see it, do what you say that you see. If you go into the info of the videos, you'll see the email. You want to say thank you or send me some type of a donation, you can set it up by sending me a message, right? You want to send death threats or whatever you want to do. I'm not here for that, right? If I'm going to help everyone get to the next level, you should say thank you. I can't make anybody do anything, but if you see it as such, then you should. We're talking about being active members of society, active members in the community of traders. That's what we look for because that's what we do. We're not going to ask people to do things that we don't do, right? Leadership. Accountability on steroids is what you got right here. So we're going to start the year off right. Price action is king. The price action. I haven't talked about EMAs, the RSI, supported resistance, the candle structure, the Japanese candle patterns, which tells you a story. I haven't talked about any of that. You know, baby pips. I haven't talked about the sessions. I haven't talked about nothing on the chart. Price action. What's the price? It could be a bucket of. I'm heading towards monetization, so I don't want to screw it up because I got a potty mouth. So I'm doing my best. Maybe that's a New Year's resolution, is not to cuss on these videos. Because I do what I want to do, right? But I don't want to mess it up, though. I want to keep it clean, right? Price action. What's the price? There's tons of brokers, right? I have DARWiNEX 0 and I have Top 1 futures at this point. There's been many brokers over the years. What was back in the day they had I forget the names, but you gotta beat the challenge in 30 days, and if you don't, you gotta start over and pay the fee again. They got cleaned up with that. They doing it way better now. There's no 30-day time frame to get it done. It's open season now. You can just buy the program and just take as long as you can take. And everybody loves it, right? They got access to all these different brokers. And you should be winning. A lot of people lose. Like I said, 98% of the people who get involved in this game lose. And it doesn't feel good. So we want to change the vibe. We want to get you into a winning stage of your trading or investing career. We want you to win, right? So we have to start with the basics, the price. So I'm going to go through, let's just say we'll go through WEBULL, and you see a couple of my companies that I'm involved with. The market's closed. It's New Year's, right? It may open after 2 p.m. today, or maybe tomorrow. Most things are going to open on the second day of the year. But anyway, price action, the basic scale of 100. I wasn't really going to do that video today, but I might as well just go ahead and break it down. This is going to be an ongoing explanation of the basic scale of 100. How to build the scale. You see my assets there, the companies that I'm involved with. I have shares. I'm a shareholder, like a slave owner. And this is the analogy. Like, you got to make your dollars work for you. This is why I don't need people to work for me. I have dollars that I can invest in companies and let the dollars work. I don't want the dollars sitting in my bank account, in my savings account. No, it's not doing nothing but depreciating. You have to take those dollars and put them into something that's going to grow. And you don't know that the company's going to make it. You just hope that you can do enough research to get yourself access to the right types of companies, and you can put those dollars to work for you, right? The right way. But how? You have to build that scale of 100 and buy at discounted rates. What are discounted rates? Because the baby Pipionians, the baby Pip teachers, they have their version of premium and discount, and I have mine, right? Now, I'm going to give you mine because I'm not with that over there. I'm with this over here. Buying low at a discount, selling high at a premium, and staying out the middle. The phrase that we all heard over the years was buy low, sell high. But buy low where and sell high where? What do you mean buy low, sell high? Yeah, I heard it 60-40. Yeah, I heard it 60-40. 60 is the premium and 40 is the discount. In life, the federal government, the IRS, they take 40% of your money for your whole life, right? You make 60% and they take 40, 60-40. Imagine that. A lot of us have heard that term before and didn't really know, like, what does that mean? It means a lot of things. But it's also applied in the basic scale of 100. 50 is the middle. So building the scale. Well, let's look at the prices on these assets. You see over there to the right, there's the price that it is versus the price that I bought the shares at. To the very right, you'll see a big number, which is the price that it is now. And then below that number is a smaller number, and the price that I actually entered at. Very important. But this is WEBULL. I don't know what your broker shows you, but you should be able to know how to read what it says across on this, right? You have the amount of shares that you bought. You have the amount of dollars that you're either up or down. So, but the point of this is, how do I build my scales? Well, it depends on the price you have. Let's start from the bottom. Well, most of us would understand, and I explain this for all people, newbies all the way up to experienced traders, the basics. people will be like, oh, this is boring because I'm not talking about rocket science. See, no, I'm not taking you to the rocket science. I'm keeping it nice and basic for you. There's a reason for everything that I do. I'm not them. I'm not from here, so I don't do what they do. I'm doing what you're supposed to do, right? We're going to wreck those ignorant, disobedient, rebellious, predatory, lazy, monitoring spirits. We're going to wreck all that in 26. It's 26 now, see? So it's time, right? And I got time to drag clowns, right? When you're below $1, you have to buy a minimum of 100 shares. So we're going through this brokerage. We're talking about assets, right? And we see the prices over there, like between $1 and below, right? You see 59 cents, 30 cents, whatever. The basic scale of 100, in this case, is 0 to 100 cents, right? So when I build the scale, I start at 100, which is $1. And I have a premium, which is above $1, and I got a discount, which is below $1, which is $1.10 above and 90 cents below. Then if I step down a level, then it's 75 cents. Well, above 75 cents is 85 cents, then 75 cents. Then below 75 cents is 65 cents. Then I step down a level to 50 cents. You see the reoccurring theme? It's $1, 75 cents, 50 cents, and then 25 cents. So we're at 50 cents. And at 50 cents, the premium is 60 cents, and then the discount is 40 cents, 60-40, see? And then we step down a level, 25 cents. Above 25 cents, the premium is 35, and then below the discount of 25 is 15 cents. The lowest discount, the ideal position for all of us to buy a stock. This is not trading or investing advice. This is for entertainment and educational purposes only. But it's right. It's correct, right? All you got to do is apply it yourself. I'm not telling you what to do. You do what you want to do. But what I do, this is what I do, right? If I get a bead on a company and I believe in that company and I'm willing to lose money on that company, then the ideal position to buy it would be 15 cents, right? 100 shares at 15 cents is $15. Everybody got $15. If I believe in the company and I want to buy it at 15 cents, I get 100 shares. I have to buy 100 shares a minimum. I can't buy one share at 15 cents. It's not going to let me do that. I have to buy 100 shares, which costs $15. If I buy 1,000 shares, then it's $150 at the bottom, what I call the bottom, according to the basic scale of 100. So this means if the company goes bankrupt, I only lose $150. Or the company becomes what it's supposed to be, and it goes from 15 cents to $150. Up there where our Oracle is. Oracle was 15 cents at one point, and now it's at 150, 250, 350. Just like 15 cents, 25 cents, 35 cents. You see how that works? It's the math. It comes straight from the hand of God. It's the math. What do I mean by that? 15 cents, 25 cents, 35 cents is the same as $1.50, $2.50, $3.50 is the same as $11.50, $12.50, $13.50, the same as $150, or no, $15, $25, and $35 is the same as $150, $250, $350 is the same as $1,150, $1,250, $1,350. That's fractalization. That's a fractal mind frame. When you take those numbers, they're all the same. To some people don't make no sense, right? Because nobody taught it to you. And I've said some words in here that are familiar, right? Fractal. What is a fractal? Think of a diamond. It's a certain kind of cut where all the cuts are equal, and it creates a fractalization, right? When you use these numbers, you see that they're the same numbers at different levels of price. You're building the number scale. You don't need to build it. It built itself. It comes from God. It's fractalized and it's perfect. And there's nothing off. Everything is equal, right? So you got to know how to build your price. Now, I said that, right? I said 15, 25, 35. Okay, what's above that? $1.50. Well, no, 15 cents. Yeah, 15 cents, 25 cents, 35 cents. That's the very bottom. That's the low where you want to buy at the very bottom, right? But let's say you're not at the bottom. What's the next level up? It's $1.50, $2.50, $3.50. Now, you see the stocks that I have there? We have the stocks that are below $1, and then when we get above $1, this first place we hit is $1.50, $2.50, $3.50. Now I can build that scale. I'm going from $1.50, $2.50, basically $1 to $10, $0 to $10. And then the bottom of that is $1.50, $2.50, $3.50 going up towards $10. And then I got $11.50, $12.50, $13.50 going from $10 to $20. Then if I'm going from 0 to 100, then $15, $25, $35. That's the bottom. All right. So if I bought 100 shares at $15, that's $1,500. Right. If I buy 100 shares at $1.50, that's $150. And if I buy 100 shares at 15 cents, it's $15. Right. 100 shares at 15 cents is $15. Now, that's how you develop risk threshold. That's how you develop your risk tolerance. Which area would you prefer? How much can you afford? If you can only afford $15, then you need to buy stocks that are down at that level. If you can afford $150, then you can start at the $150 level. And if you can afford $1,500, then you can start at the $15 level. You can look for stocks that are at that type of a zone. So that's the explanation for today. That's the introduction, and we're going to continue this. But I broke that down for you in 17 minutes. That's the math. There's not much else you're going to need, but I'm going to walk you through this year because all my analysis is built around the basic scale of 100. I developed the concept, and I'm willing to help people out so that they can get on the train because the train is leaving the station. When this separation of the rich and poor, the elimination of the middle class, the transfer of wealth, once that happens, you're going to be so far behind, it's ridiculous. It doesn't mean you can't get in. It's just going to mean you're going to be separated. There's going to be the haves and there's going to be the have-nots. You might want to figure it out. It starts with getting with people who know. So you have to surround yourself with people who know. You know who we do it for the people, not the profits. It's the consistency and persistency that wins in the market. To beat the market, you must become the market. The market moves with integrity through price. And if you don't respect that price, I'm already messing it up because we're not perfect, right? And that's cool. We're not perfect, but you can be right. More than 85, 95% of the time, you become a 2%er and not have that 98% mentality. But back to the saying. To beat the market, you must become the market. And the market moves with integrity through its price. If you lack integrity of the price, you get wrecked and you end up in loss review with all the other losers talking about the psychology. And it's not the psychology. You were taught by a predator. And it was meant for you to lose because you're surrounded by the wrong people. All they want is you to pay them monthly fees so they can feed you bullshit. And it's time for a change. In 26, let's get to it. Hey.